We're ending our stay down under with a drive through Western Australia. We rent a car in Perth and drive via the Pinnacles and Kalbarri to Monkey Maya, then on to Coral Bay and Exmouth to Karijini National Park. Back via Mount Magnet, then Wave Rock and Margaret River, finally to Perth. But before we can get going, we and our luggage first have to get from Sydney to Perth. So far so good. But then our bike boxes are left outside the plane. It starts to rain. It rains harder and harder. Nobody loads the boxes onto the plane. And we can do nothing but watch as our bike boxes turn into papier-mâché. Consequently, they arrive in Perth completely ripped. Luckily, everything was still inside and nothing was damaged. Rottnest Island means rat's nest because its Dutch namesake mistook the quokkas living there for large rats. They are, however, small kangaroos. We take the ferry from Fremantle and spend a day exploring Rottnest Island on rented bikes. The island is a car-free nature reserve and lies about a 30-minute ferry ride west of Perth in the Indian Ocean. We've already stored our own bikes for the next 3 weeks at a German cycling enthusiast living in Perth. Rottnest Island, with its beautiful beaches, quokkas and red-hued lakes, was our first highlight in Western Australia, and many more were to come. The very next day we leave Perth and head north, with 2 national parks on the agenda. Only 1 hour later, we arrive at Yanchep National Park. Here, there's lots of beautiful scenery and 5 koalas. We spot them all. After an hour's hike, we continue on. We take a short break at the beach and then we arrive at Nambung National Park, better known as the Pinnacles. These aren't just a few limestone pillars. The area is enormous, roughly 4 by 1 kilometer in size, with thousands of rock pinnacles up to 4 meters high, and it looks absolutely incredible. The Pinnacles are an absolute highlight. The next day, our first photo stop is at Hartsea's sand dunes. Then we continue along the India Ocean Drive, and at noon we arrive at Allendale Pool. It sounds like a lake, but it's a river. The crocodiles probably don't care. They are thousands of kilometers away. But there are countless cockatoos here. We spent the night at a campsite by the sea. On our way to Kalbarri lies Port Gregory, which is located on Pink Lake. What else would you call it? The color comes from an alga that produces beta-carotene when exposed to sunlight. Amazing what nature can do. Onward to Island Rock Lookout. And from there, a few hundred meters further on foot to Natural Bridge. In the afternoon we reach Kalbarri. We'll stay here for 2 nights and tomorrow we'll head to Kalbarri National Park, 20 kilometers away. Even the journey there was amazing. A dried out landscape with beautiful and interesting flowers. In the park, we first go to Set Bend Lookout. Afterward, we scramble down to the river. It wasn't all that easy, but doable thanks to the ladders if you're not afraid of heights. After a quarter of an hour, we made it. From down here, the canyon looks even more impressive. We're completely alone here, which makes it even more beautiful. The peace and quiet, nothing but birdsong. It's simply amazing, incredible. We head back up the same way. We still want to visit the Kalbarri Skywalk and the Natural Window, 10 kilometers away. Nice and hopefully stable. However, the steel grid floor may not be suitable for everyone. The heat is becoming unbearable, so back to Kalbarri for a swim for the rest of the day. Today is 400 kilometers to Monkey Maya, but first a quick stop at Hawks Head Lookout. We're really glad that we're in an air-conditioned car and not on our bikes. Next stop, Billabong Roadhouse. Onward to lunch at the Overlander Roadhouse. After this local specialty, we're off to Shark Bay and Shell Beach. No sand, just shells. Next stop, Whalebone Point. just a short drive to Monkey Maya. The emus there welcome us rather pushy than warmly. We have to watch out that they don't steal our food supplies from the trunk. Apparently, this happens quite often. We didn't go to Monkey Maya for them. We see why the next day just before 8 a.m. The dolphins are being fed by rangers, but they only receive a fraction of their necessary daily ration. Who's watching whom? We spent the rest of the day by the pool and the evening at the bar. The next day we say goodbye to the dolphins and the emus. Then our journey continues through the seemingly endless expanses of Western Australia. It's only 580 kilometers to Coral Bay. Apart from a few graffiti, today there was only a beautiful sunset over the ocean. In Coral Bay, we'll take a day to swim and relax. Blue skies, endless sunshine and temperatures up to 44 degrees. Good thing we have a spot in the shade. I've seen uglier beaches, but we'll still go to another one this afternoon. From Coral Bay to Exmouth, it's 150 kilometers seemingly straight ahead, past hundreds of termite mounds. Here you'll find the Range National Park with the offshore Ningaloo Reef, one of the most beautiful reefs in Australia. We arrive early in Exmouth and visit the Ningaloo Aquarium and Discovery Centre. It has interactive exhibits. We especially like the one in the kids' corner. Since the temperatures are extremely hot today, we're treating ourselves to the luxury of an air-conditioned room at a campground with a pool. With temperatures reaching 40 degrees Celsius in the shade, we're heading to two bays in Cape Range National Park. First T-Bone Bay and then Turquoise Bay. Name says it all. In the evening, we're taking a guided tour to watch turtles laying their eggs. Unfortunately, the season is over and we don't see any except her. Another long day in the car, 570 kilometers ahead. Exmouth was the northernmost point of our trip. We're leaving the coast and heading east into the outback, more precisely to the mining town of Tom Price, from where we'll drive to Karijini National Park the next day. We'll be staying there for a total of 4 days. We're actually not allowed to drive our rental car on the dirt road, but it's the much shorter way to Hamersley Gorge. Before descending, we take a quick look down. It doesn't look as deep as in Kalbarri National Park, but it's at least as beautiful, if not more so. But could it get any more beautiful? We're the only ones here. We have the whole gorge to ourselves. It's so beautiful. On the way back, just outside Tom Price, we stop to see this gigantic dump truck. A wonderful day in a fascinating natural landscape comes to an end, and we're excited about what tomorrow will bring. It's Sandra's birthday today, and we have a lot planned. First up is Knox Gorge. It's only 10 a.m. and already so hot that we decide not to descend into the gorge today. So for now, we'll just admire it from above. If we have time, we want to start earlier one of the next days to descend before the heat sets in. After that, we're off to Joffre Gorge. The descent leads via several ladders and offers spectacular views. Only one couple is already there taking photos, probably for Instagram. We wait a few minutes and then we have the gorge all to ourselves. I learned this pose from the other couple. Four weeks ago, there was a cyclone here with torrential rain. The hotel manager showed us pictures of it. The water in Joffre Gorge was a raging torrent. As impressive as it is, we want to check in to our glamping tent. And there's still something to celebrate. Sunrise here is like watching a movie. We're excited to see what today has in store. Due to the cyclone damage, unfortunately not all gorges are open yet. We decide on Dale's Gorge with Fortescue Falls and Fern Pool above it. First we go for a swim in Fern Pool, not quite alone today. Besides the few swimmers, there are also lots of bats here. Just a few hundred meters further and down over the rocks, we reach the next pool with Fortescue Falls. Enough swimming. Now we explore the canyon on the Dale's Gorge Trail.
So sollen wir hier laufen, das würde die Schlangen vertreiben. Und Mückenschutz habe ich auch auf. Die Mucke regt mich nicht auf.
Crocodile C. We didn't see any snakes, but we did see these.
Gut, dass der Martin gestern nur ein Geburtstagstörtchen gegessen hat.
The sunsets here are also like something out of a movie. Today we're doing 2 hikes. First we're going to Kalamina Gorge. Let's have a little swim before we hike through the gorge. It's only 1.5 kilometers to the end of the trail, so even in these temperatures it shouldn't be a problem. End of the trail, so we turn around and go back the same way. Doing that, we see this one. Then we're off to Knox Gorge. We already looked at it from up there the day before yesterday, and today we're hiking through the gorge. Knox Gorge overwhelms us with its depth and narrowness. We're speechless, but these pictures say more than 1,000 words. After 4 days in the magnificent Karijini National Park, we're heading back south. Today we're driving to Mount Magnet, which is about 850 kilometers. The traffic is light, so we set the cruise control to 110 and make distance. Some of the road trains here are over 50 meters long, while other trucks are too wide. Before continuing from Mount Magnet to Hyden, we visit the local history museum. Another long drive, and it will be evening by the time we arrive in Hyden. Wave rock was one of the main reasons we travelled to Western Australia. It's a granite rock formation about 2.7 billion years old, shaped into a wave by erosion and weathering. Even the Aborigines called it a wave of rock. It is 15 meters high and approximately 110 meters long. Onward along the Tin Horse Highway. You can see the reason for this name on the side of the road. Nice, but we continue towards Margaret River all the way to Bassellton. The jetty there is 1,800 meters long. Day trip along the coast to Canal Rocks and other beautiful bays. Afterward, we go to Margaret River, where there's a farmer's market. Then on to a winery for a wine tasting. But the absolute highlight of the day we discovered in the evening. A huge field of kangaroos, just 3 kilometers from our campsite. For sure, I went back there the next evening to take photos and videos. Now we're going back to Perth, where we prepare everything for the journey home. A premium wash please, so the car doesn't immediately show the marks of those illegal dirt roads. Our half a year's journey through New Zealand and Australia is drawing to a close. We've cycled more than 4,500 kilometers and driven by car just as far. We've seen many beautiful things and experienced amazing things. Nevertheless, we're looking forward to being home.